All right, everybody. What's up? Welcome back to the Toxic Manosphere podcast, where we're all dumb idiots, and we should mind our business and get back to work and keep our mouths shut and
Dude, air
respect
horn
our
sound
betters.
effect. Does no one have an air horn sound effect right now?
Yeah, let me.
Come on.
Peasants don't get air horns.
Yeah.
Dude, peasants only get air horns.
Oh,
Fuck.
Yeah, it's like the voo voo things from the World Cup a few years back.
Oh yeah.
um. No, what's up, dude? We have gathered here today to discuss some pop culture artifacts that I mean, what was it? Like a month or so ago, Mikey, we watched this movie kind of on a lark. Like it's like kind of came out of nowhere. D.A.R.Y.L, data analyzing robot youth life form.
there it is.
Movie was sick.
Dude, that shit went hard. And I'm glad we watched it then. And then AI, artificial intelligence, this weird like
That movie's crazy.
Oh, it's fucking crazy, dude. And
It's
like
fucking crazy.
it's
It
like
really is.
Kubrick's long time like passion project that never went through. Spielberg like picks up the ball and tries to like drive it home. It's weird. It's fucky. I think there's 4 acts of the movie. Like I really do think like the really weird part of that movie is almost superfluous. Like you could finish the movie where he meets his maker. And that would be like the end of Act 3.
Isn't it kind of like an epilogue?
It kind of is. Yeah.
Yeah, for real. It's like you could just cut off the last fucking act of that movie and it would be like it would make so much more fucking sense and be a great movie still. Like I do kind of enjoy it for its own, like if it was like a standalone thing, the last act, but it was like what the fuck is happening here? This is like why did nobody let Spielberg near fucking rewriting the script? Stop doing that. He just fucking,
But here's the deal, dude. I think that's what makes it. So I think after watching D.A.R.Y.L, one of my favorite movies of all time is I think it's called Shane. I call it one of my favorite movies of all time, but I don't even know what the name is. But it's an old Western, and the reason it's one of my favorite movies is because at the end, the protagonist, the hero, the good guy that you want to have a happy ending, he rides off into the sunset. He doesn't get the happy ending. And the kid like Shane, and it is
Shane.
Yeah, it's Shane. That ending is why I love this movie. I haven't seen it in years. I saw it when I was younger. But it has this element of like alienation, of lack, of negation. It's not affirmative like so many other Hollywood movies are. D.A.R.Y.L has that energy, and I think Act 4 of AI has that energy as well. So I think Act 4 is what makes AI a good movie. Like,
okay, I have the opposite reaction to Act 4. I thought the I'm right with you with the alienation. I felt like that was so there when he meets his maker and he sees all of his copies who look just like him.
Yeah.
And then he's sitting there on the edge, like that on the ledge, of the building. Like that's like he's so alienated in that moment. And then but then you have the moment with the mother later on in the 4th act, and I feel like then it's the alienation is gone. Then it's like, no, we have a moment of like wholeness. You know what I mean?
It is like a reconciliation, but she dies, and it's because she dies.
That's true.
David is now actually able to take up his own agency. He's psychotic before she dies.
True.
He he doesn't understand prohibition. He's me.
And that's what bothers me about it. But it's also a good portrayal of that, which is just the whole movie. You're like, kid, can you mediate this? Can you like
no.
break
Yeah.
free of the mother
That's
thing?
what makes him
And-
creepy. Is he's
Right.
like, yeah, that's what makes him fucking weird.
But that is this kind of psychotic position of no, there is no mediating third party.
Mm.
There's just me and mother.
Mm-hmm.
And no, the whole time you're sitting there going, can you embrace your own lack? Can you accept prohibition and then enter the wider space of the symbolic order where your desire becomes metonymic, where it skips from object to object? No, he just stays stuck on the mother thing, das Ding, right? Like,
Yeah.
and
I think when she dies, like in my head canon, it's her death completes David in a way that allows him to actually go on and not be this annoying, creepy, psychotic construct.
yeah, but he just goes to sleep with her.
Yeah. And then you fill in the blank.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, but
if you fill in the blank,
I
it's a
don't
great
think he ever
movie.
wakes up is the point. Isn't the point that he never wakes up, that he just falls asleep in that eternal moment and he never
I think that's-
deterritorializes from
I think
her?
that's far too pessimistic an interpretation.
That's what I got. I got that though.
I took it because it's a fucking crazy movie. People out there,
Yeah.
In TV land,
Yeah,
if
should
you
we have
haven't
said
seen,
spoiler alert for
Yeah,
an
spoiler-
old
yeah.
like,
no,
You need to edit a spoiler alert at the beginning or something.
these movies are old.
Yeah.
They're not new.
spoiler alert on Shane.
Yeah, yeah, dude. You haven't seen that movie. But
No, and I've seen this more and more online where younger people are mad because you're talking about some old classic
yeah,
from pop culture past. And it's like, guys, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry that we know about Shane
right.
and AI, but
Right.
we know these references and we can't do spoiler alerts for all of pop culture prior to
Dude,
what, 2000?
2000. Yeah,
Yeah.
come on, man. Like,
There's a statute of limitations on this shit.
I just watched season 10 of episode 3 of Foundation. I just watched the season finale of Foundation on Apple TV. I wouldn't even give a spoiler alert if we were discussing that. I don't care about spoiler. No, like I think a good story stands on its own. Now, I don't think Foundation is necessarily the greatest story in the world. But yeah, stop requesting
I just
spoiler
feel like
alerts,
doing it like
people.
if it's a new movie, like the movie Weapons that came out and it's the week that it came out or what. Yeah, I would maybe
Sure.
go.
But
you know,
also,
but
on the
something
side
reasonable.
of the consumer, take some responsibility for yourself, consumer. If you haven't seen the movie yet and you don't want it to be spoiled, go watch it before you listen to discussion.
The names of the movies they're going to be in the title of the video, right? Like, so
Yeah.
you kind of know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be really annoying to talk about this because everything important happens in like the last, or I feel like most of the important things happen in the last 2 acts. So it's like it'd be really
Yeah.
hard to talk about this without spoiling it.
I mean,
It'd
can
be
we,
really annoying.
when we come to talking about films, this might be a little bit of a naive way to start, but I think it helps. I mean, ultimately, Nance, do you like the movie AI? Sean, do you like the movie AI?
I
I like it. I like it with a huge caveat. If it could have just chopped off the last act, it would have been a fucking way better movie. But it's interesting. Even that said, like the last act is kind of interesting in a weird way because to me, what it reveals that we had alienation, and then Spielberg was like, this feels bad, and so now we need to come back around to like getting rid of the alienation, the evil alienation. You know, that's how I read it.
Let me ask you guys. Well, Nance, what do you answer first, and then I'll ask the other thing.
I like it because we just watched D.A.R.Y.L, and I think D.A.R.Y.L takes up alienation in a very interesting, constructive way. So like, and I knew we were gonna like talk about this. That's why I rewatched it, because we were talking about let's talk about movies and let's talk about like interesting theory. So I think I'm biased, but I do like AI, and I think I am projecting my own desire onto AI because I want it to be like, I want the end of it to be this moment of like liberating alienation for David. I don't want it to be holistic reconciliation. I want it to be like actual, he's moving through alienation, like he's processing, because he is a psychotic, like throughout the whole movie. Even when the weird alien robot, what are they? Are they aliens? Are they robots? Are they our descendants? Are they someone else's descendants? Who knows? He's still, he demands that they bring her back to life. Like there is no prohibition for him. But I think in that final moment, he experiences true love. She dies, and then he's actually free to be like the representative of the memory of humankind. So I think if you do a little extra work, it's like ergodic. I think AI is an ergodic film. Or the ergodic means like House of Leaves, one of my favorite books. I got it right here. It's an ergodic text. It's a text that you have to do a little bit of work. You can't just sit back and be a passive reader. I think if you take AI,
that book is fucking crazy, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
Wild. Yeah.
But if you read AI actively, like if you actually become an active participant in the narrative, then yes, I like it. Now, would I have liked it 2 months ago before we were having this conversation? Probably not, because it is a little saccharine and it is weird and it is annoying. And I love Jude Law and I love Haley Joel Osment, and their performances are great and amazing. But I think a surface reading of the film is way too saccharine, because it is like this moment of reconciliation, and that's not my thing.
I guess what I mean is that like if it had ended with him like throwing himself off the cliff, all of the saccharine shit would have been cut out, and it would have been a fucking great. But like it would have made people sad, and we can't have that. This is fucking Hollywood, you know.
Yeah.
So
I can say Kubrick wouldn't have ended it the way Spielberg did.
Oh no.
Fuck no. Spielberg is like, that's what Spielberg is like, Hollywood brain. You know, like like.
So, but here's my okay. So I don't really like the movie all that much. I like what you're doing with it, Nance. If you're doing this like active supplemental thing, right? And I mean, look, I talked to Todd McGowan today, and we were talking about the new movie, One Battle After Another, Paul Thomas Anderson's new flick.
Was that any good?
So there's a lot to like about it. I think there's other things to dislike about it, but it's crazy how Todd told me, he was like, yeah, said the thing. There's lots to like about it. It's a nice thrill ride, but here's my problem with it. And I don't want to go into spoilers because it is brand new, but I'll just say he names like one thing that he points out to me, and I go, wow, retroactively, that kind of does cast a big problem onto the film. And so I love what you're doing, Nance, but when I was originally watching it, I don't have you watching it with me, right? And so I don't know. It's what I said to you. Like, this is the first movie where I'm like, yeah, the Spielberg magic is gone.
Yeah. Yep.
And I know people who think this is actually, I've heard people say this is his best movie.
Yikes.
What the fuck?
Yikes.
That is, yeah. So I think the last time Spielberg had any of the Spielberg magic was Jurassic Park. And, even there, it's not as strong and intense as it was in E.T. and Close Encounters and Jaws and blah, blah, blah. I think this movie kind of meanders, and it's a lot of just, this kid wants mommy because he was programmed to want mommy, and nothing. It's like you don't even see anything trying to function as the third mediating factor, the paternal metaphor, whatever. Okay, so you kind of get a little bit of that with his brother, and a little bit maybe with his dad at first, but once they're out of the film, it's just him for another hour and a half or 2 hours, just one. And I don't know, it just wears on me after a while, where I'm like,
that's actually go ahead.
I'll just say what I like about it, though. It does raise an important question, which is, if we build AI machines, which this kid, like Nick was talking to us in our interview with him, he thinks that one of the important types of bots will be the care bot. This kid is kind of in the family of a care bot. If we make these things where they are capable of this level of care for a person, and yet we still treat them like a lamp or a refrigerator. How monstrous is that? So I think that point it makes is a fair point. It's worth considering that, hey, just because AIs are robots, if you get them to a certain level, they count as a person with feelings, and you can't treat them. You have to take responsibility at a certain point. Yes, it's a machine, but it's a human machine.
Yeah.
And now you got to treat it the way you would an actual human child, and which she doesn't. She would never treat an actual human child the way she treats him.
Yeah.
Like, even if she had adopted a real human child, would she have taken the real human child out into the woods and abandoned? No. So that point I like. I think that raises an important question. Besides that, I'm like, and so it's funny, Sean, you mentioned it. I'll say this and I'll shut up and let you take it. All I want to say is this point where you're emphasizing where he's sitting on the ledge. I just think that scene is bizarre. And I said this to Nance before. Like, okay, so let me get this straight. Somehow the designer plants information in that hologram to get David to come seek him out where the lions cry or whatever in old abandoned New York. So somehow the designer figured out how to do that. So he wants David to come to him. So he gets David there. So he has this little talk with him, and then he's like, "Oh, people have been waiting for you." And then he acts like he's gonna go get him, and then he just fucking vanishes. And then David's just like fucking looking around at all the little replicants of himself, the prototypes, and then somehow he gets outside of the building. I don't know where he got out, because if you look at the room he was in, it's a giant fucking window that you're not going to open. So I'm like, would the designer, how far away in the building are all the other designers that helped make them? Like, he had to fucking go 20 minutes away on a walk. So David just fucking goes out, and then for whatever reason, he's like, I'm just going to throw myself into the ocean. And I don't think it was suicide. That's not what he was aiming at. He just is like, oh, I'm going to go in the ocean now. What? He thinks the blue fairy is down there? How do you fucking suspect that? Like, none of that made any fucking sense to me. And it kind of took me out of it, where I'm like, oh, you just wanted to find a way for him to find some angelic blue fairy statue. So, oh, I'll just have him. It's almost like Spielberg does this from time to time in his movies. It's like in Jurassic Park. Okay, we want the big T-Rex in the big cinematic scene, right? Okay, but he has to come out of his enclosed area. Now that he's out, okay, I'm going to take the ground out from where the T-Rex was. Now there's a giant cliff, because now I want the car to go over the wall. And like, that fucking giant cliff area wasn't there a minute ago where the T-Rex was walking. So he was just like, well, there's no way to do it. Hopefully they won't notice. And I feel like that's another moment of this where I'm like, I noticed, man.
Part of properly enjoying film is like part of cinema is the enjoyment you get from going with irrational narrative.
Suspension of disbelief.
Suspension of disbelief. It's this, you get a jouissance from going along with it anyway. So when it hits, when it's firing on all cylinders, you don't notice it. But if it's not working for whatever reason, you're going to start to pick up and you're going to start to notice that. So
yeah, well, where there was a moment ago solid ground that a T-Rex stood on, and now there's a giant fucking cliff that it goes down 200 feet or whatever. That takes, I mean, I understand it's fiction, but something like that takes you out of it, where you're like,
well,
what
and
the
that's
fuck?
the thing. Like, I don't know how you guys feel about Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, but that's one of my favorite movies, because it's one of, like, I love Valerian. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I've seen it probably.
I saw Valerian. I like have no memory of seeing it though. I would have to rewatch it. It would be like the first time for me.
It's cheesy and it's hokey and it's stupid, and there's logical loopholes everywhere. But for some people, like, that's one of my partner's favorite movies, and she hates science fiction. She fucking hates Star Trek. She hates Star Wars. She hates all the other science fiction shit that I love. But for some reason, like, the structure of that film is just attuned to her, like, libidinal enjoyment for some reason. That's like one of her favorite movies. But there's so many holes and inconsistencies in this movie. So I think
I'll make a note.
Yeah.
For that one. I want to.
It's good.
On AI, though, before we move on to other movies. Yeah. I just want to say, like, Mikey, the way you're describing AI is like, okay, so first of all, when you come to the end, when he throws himself off the cliff, to me, it's a great movie to me. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
If he dies right there, if he's
Yeah.
dead, if it's
Yeah, I would
suicide,
prefer that.
if it's suicide, it's a great fucking movie, and that's the end of the movie, right?
Because
Then
it's a
a
free
great
act.
movie.
He's denying his programming.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and because he really does love, but he has this encounter that like my love is manufactured, and he
Yeah.
can't handle that cognitive dissonance. That and he also sees that because he confronts himself duplicated, and it's so important that he destroys himself when he confronts himself duplicated.
Oh, that's really okay. I like that. That's good.
Yeah,
That makes
yeah,
sense
dude.
of why he would do that.
Yeah,
So you
so
think he
like
was trying to do that?
yeah, totally. I
Okay,
think he
that makes sense.
cannot it's like Dostoevsky's The Double. There can't be two of you.
Yeah.
You know, one has to get rid of the other one, you know? Like you cannot occupy the same two people who are identical cannot occupy the same symbolic position. There's only one position, you
dude.
know what I mean?
Dude.
Tyler Durden had to go.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like so I think the movie's great if that happens, and I think like when you were describing like the
If I hear a spoiler for Fight Club, I'm losing my mind. Like,
if you were when you were describing like it's kind of monotonous, like the kid doesn't change because like to me that's I like that about it because that's how he's not human. Like he's
Yeah, but
human, he's human in every other ways, but because he's not organic and so his brain isn't changing, he can't evolve, right?
But
He's
don't you have a
stuck in
problem
this.
with what? So I see why you would have a problem though with what comes after, because after he does that, he's just back to the same. It's like that act
Does
of
what?
throwing himself off
Yeah.
didn't change him at all. Now he's back to just being the same thing.
Well, that's
after that,
why
right?
it should have stopped. He should have just died, and it would have been a better movie. Because like he throws himself off. To me, I interpreted that as suicide. That's what he's going for. Is like fuck it. Is like the cognitive dissonance isn't working. I just have to like I just exasperate it, you know. And so that's how I interpreted it. But then when he goes underwater and then it's just like the fish, literally, the fucking fish move him to fall down. And then he just happens to see the
What are they, AI
Das Ding,
fish?
the thing that's going to make him, the AI fish,
Yeah.
the Das Ding, the thing that's going to make him whole.
Yep.
And then the movie becomes about him becoming whole again, you know, which is like, no, Spielberg, no, you fucked it up, you Hollywood-brained idiot. Like you fucked it. You fucked it. No, it was good when he was alienated, and then that was too much for him to bear, you know? And like so, but like it's so important, like he's human in every way, except for the fact that he cannot get out of this like position. He can't become alienated. He can't mature. He can't
enter the symbolic order properly as this mediating third. He's caught in this dyadic relationship.
And that's why it's creepy and and weird but
so,
like that. So I think it would be a great movie if he just died. It'd be a fantastic movie, you know.
So I think
really,
I think when I say I like this movie, I think it's because it generates this conversation. Like that's
exactly.
what I like about it. But yeah, to go back to it is a Hollywood-brained idiotic. Like this is a movie for idiots. Like it does everything perfectly, I think, up to Act 3. And if you interpret that as suicide, then that's a great story. That's Shane in the way where the good guys don't always fucking wear white, right? Like you don't get the happy ending, but it's because you don't get the happy ending. Guess what? We're free. And then Act 4
How did the designer know that he would find this genie type fortune teller AI hologram thing?
Well, you see, it's a secret conspiracy, dude, because Jude Law's been reporting. Jude Law is really a secret agent, right?
Dude, that shit's weird. I'll give you that, but that's one of those like plot holes that Nance was talking about that I can like overlook because it would it would complete the narrative in such a beautiful way that it's like I can look past that much, you know.
Well,
I think I'm being tough on it because I just think D.A.R.Y.L's a better movie. Yes, I think the like basically low budget 80s movie that nobody saw is better than the Kubrick inspired Spielberg film. I think it deals with AI and subjectivity better than Spielberg's movie does.
So I do want to say it's a valid point though, because I do think the aesthetic mission of a film or whatever is to get the audience to be able to suspend their disbelief. And if you can't achieve that, then you're not making a good film. So I don't think, oh, Mikey, you're just being nitpicky. Like, I think they're valid points to bring up.
Yeah. Dude, like I think that's a great way to put it, because I think like a film is great by the measure of like it's not great because it has no plot holes. It's great because the audience doesn't give a fuck
Right.
about the plot holes that are
When's
there.
the last time you watched episode 4, Star Wars: A New Hope, or even Empire Strikes Back? Like, go back and watch those, and you see all kinds of errors, continuity errors, and little mistakes here and there, but no one gives a fuck because it's
no one cares.
Star Wars.
You're right, exactly. And that's the thing. If the movie is doing so many things right, you are more forgiving.
Yeah.
And so I just don't. It's weird. Look, I'm always gonna love those Spielberg movies I grew up with. Like, they're so canonical to me. Jaws, E.T., Raiders of the Lost Ark, Close Encounters. I mean, I can't say how much I love what these meant to me, especially as a kid. And yet, it's fun. Even Jurassic Park I would throw in there. But again, by the time we get to this period, the AI, Minority Report, this kind of thing, this era that he was in,
dude. And I love Philip K. Dick.
I don't have this. He doesn't draw me in anymore.
It's
the way he used
almost
to.
Unbearable. Like, Minority Report is almost unbearable to sit there and watch it. And I honestly think AI would be the same outside of the context of the conversation that we're having, outside of D.A.R.Y.L.
You guys hate Minority Report? I kind of like that movie.
I don't feel as strongly as Nance does.
It's such a slog.
Like, I'm
dude.
Okay, wait, but you said Indiana Jones and Spielberg. What was the one with the fucking aliens at the end? The
Close
fucking
Encounters?
Crystal Skull?
Well,
dude,
that's Crystal Skull.
He did the same thing. He did the same thing. He's just like, I'm gonna make a decent movie and then throw aliens at the end. Like, why? Why are they there?
Okay, hold on. I should say, I mean, Crystal Skull has been. I mean, South Park.
Crystal Skull does not exist.
Yeah, and South Park fucking put it in the ground. But
I haven't seen that one of South Park.
So here's what I read. I read that Spielberg somewhere does say the beings at the end are AIs. They're not alien. They're not extraterrestrials.
They might as
AIs.
well fucking be. You know. Like,
I know, and it's like,
technically,
so why are you going to make them look so typically alien if they're just machines? I don't know. I don't know what he was going for there. But they definitely have the elongated bodies of the especially the mature beings in Close Encounters. They look like aliens, but I guess he was specific that no, they're not aliens. They are.
Does that make it better? Does that make it? I don't know if that makes it better. Even it's just like throw aliens, AI, whatever the fuck. They look like aliens.
I thought they were.
He ruined 2 movies by just dumping aliens at the end of it. Is what I'm saying.
I think that is.
Maybe he's just like, well, we're in Close Encounters. Yeah, because it's a fucking alien movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's an alien fucking movie. There's no aliens before in Crystal Skull.
If there weren't aliens at the end of that movie, I'd be pissed. Like,
yeah, it's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to your scripts?
Like, has he done that anywhere else? Has there? I mean, there aren't aliens at the end of Lincoln, are there?
Dude, that'd be awesome.
Okay, now there should be aliens at the end of Lincoln.
Yeah, you set up a pattern. You need to fucking go
Spielberg.
for it, dude. Your Oscar bait movies need to have aliens at the end too.
So to say Spielberg has a Hollywood brain and he fucks his movies up because he has Hollywood brain, and his early work is, I think it's fucking special. Like, similar to you, Mike. Like, there's something special in these. You could say it's nostalgia.
It goes back to like the first one, Duel. I just watched Duel again. Yeah. That movie's fucking amazing.
That's a kick-ass movie. Yeah.
It's so good.
Totally.
Even
that's the driving.
Slavoj said
the
somewhere,
one, right?
I think Slavoj says somewhere after Duel, it's all downhill for Spielberg.
But the fact that he's doing this stuff where there's all these Deus Ex Machina moments. It's aliens, it's AI, it's always about reconciliation. I think that's indicative of the new idiotheology that's kind of dominant, not just in Hollywood, but like in the world today. Spielberg, he has he's replaced God or Jesus Christ. He's replaced the return of Jesus Christ with either aliens maybe that wasn't his thing. And so now he goes to AI, where AI is going to be our new savior. And he's doing this eschatological thing where he's like, yeah, but it's okay because AI is going to save us. So he has like this tech bro accelerationist perspective that's implicit in the idiotheology of the day.
Think
Dude,
about
yes.
the
Yeah,
marriage of
absolutely.
technology and aliens at the end of Close Encounters. Now,
Right.
and reconciliation. So number one, fun fact, and it was James Lipton, I think, in his interview with Spielberg that pointed this out. Spielberg didn't realize this when he was making the film, but Lipton pointed out, he goes, okay, uh, the way that humans come to communicate with the aliens at the end of Close Encounters is using music played on computers.
Mm.
And Spielberg's like, yeah. He goes, well, your father was a computer programmer and your mother was a musician. And he was like,
Oh,
no shit, damn. And
Take
so
that, D&G. Oedipus is real.
so yeah, so there's that theme of like reconciliation, union
Yeah.
right there, and then they use that to have union with the aliens, and it's via tech. And so
Yeah.
whether it's AI or whether it's aliens, it does seem to be a constant
It's the
theme. We
second
see how
coming of Christ.
technology.
It's always the second coming of Christ. It's just updated for the modern vernacular.
Right.
Although
Because-
he isn't
Dude.
an accelerationist in Jurassic Park so much.
Can I read you guys something I wrote really quick? It's really
Yeah,
short.
sure.
Hell yeah.
All right. So I said, philosophy is the mother of science, and as such must scold its child, who will never grow up, and lovingly direct it away from walking blindly into traps of its own creation. In a similar way, philosophy is the paternal twin sibling of religion, and while they are the same age, descended from the same impulse, they could not be more different. And philosophy has also to keep its idiot twin in check, lest it burn down the whole world in its periodic insane bursts of ecstasy. When religion and science team up against philosophy, and philosophy is made weak and feeble, indeed nothing human will make it out of that near future.
Mm.
I feel like that's what we're seeing. That's what Nance, like, kind of what you're describing when it comes to religion and religion and science becoming like unified through AI, as this like the technology will save us. You know?
Yeah, it always becomes this like, and that's
Keep talking. I'm gonna
why-
find this quote to read. Hold on.
Hell yeah. That's why I get so like wary when people talk about, oh, we need a new religion. We need a new like quilting point. We need a new moral fabric, this and that. And it's like, yeah, we do. We do need a new social. Before we started recording, we were talking about the socius. Like the socius is this thing that actually exists, but it's also this symbolic thing. And it kind of incorporates your symbolic position in the world, and it demonstrates this dialectic nature of the individual and the collective, or the singular and the universal. And I like to use the socius because it's very kind of descriptive of what we need. And the world we live in today, we've been hyper alienated, we've been hyper atomized, we've been turned into solipsistic structural narcissists, and there is no more like social being outside of you and your relationship to your device or the screen or the commodity object, whatever it is. It's all about, is this going to please me? Is this going to make me happy? Or is this going to make me appear as one who is happy? So again, going back to the super egoic thing, but like, we do need a real external world. And I think that's what a lot of people are kind of grasping for when they talk about we need a new religion, or we need to bring religion back into the thing. I think people are saying we need an external reality.
Yeah.
Because
a new symbolic, a better symbolic.
Yes. Because we don't need a new religion, because religion is fanaticism. Right. And fanaticism, like you just said, ecstatic explosions. That's what we're seeing today, where we have like murders and violence and all this crazy shit going on in the world around us, and people are engaging in it ecstatically because it's the only contact with real life, real external life that people have outside of this circuit of produce, consume.
Yep.
Like we
and
do
that dialectic is
else.
so important.
Yeah.
That dialectic, produce, consume, because like that's why we must be consumers, is because we are fucking alienated through alienated labor. Like we have like that type of alienation.
Yeah.
You know?
But no, I dude, ecstatic explosions of ecstasy, man. That's what we're seeing. Fucking crazy.
So on this connection between technoscience and religion,
Yeah.
this is early on in Hegel in A Wired Brain.
Mm.
Slavoj gives his definitions. Kudos to him for actually providing definitions, rare among philosophers. You think they'd have this down by now, but not so much. All right, so brain, the book is about the wired brain, where we're going to connect our brain directly into a computer, and there's going to be feedback loops. Brain's going to contribute to what the computer does, computer's going to contribute to what the brain does, etc. So he's going to give us two definitions: wired brain and singularity. Wired brain refers to a direct link between our mental processes and a digital machine, a link which, while it enables me to directly trigger events in reality with a mere thought, I think about something like starting my air conditioner, the computer deciphers my thought and triggers the air conditioner. It also enables the digital machine to control my thoughts. Singularity refers to the idea that, by way of directly sharing my thoughts and experiences with others, a machine which reads my mental processes can also transpose it to another mind. A domain of global shared mental experience will emerge, which will function as a new form of divinity. My thoughts will be directly immersed in a global thought of the universe itself. So,
oh my God,
what he's going to go on to say is that this type of thing is the end of subjectivity.
yeah.
And what I would argue is that it's philosophy that has always fed subjectivity, precisely through doubt, challenging your master signifiers, questioning your most fundamental basic presuppositions. It leaves you in a sense of lack. Because it shows you what you don't know. I mean, why was Socrates the ideal? Because he's the one who knew that he didn't know. And he knew his lack. And because of that lack, I'm connecting to subjectivity and desire. And this is what the singularity stands to negate by immersing all of us into one collective digital hive mind. Well, there's no lack between us. There's no lack within ourselves. And we are basically the raw material of a global brain singularity, to talk like Cadell last.
This is why I say that. This is why I was saying before we started recording that if you read Anti-Oedipus descriptively rather than prescriptively in this way, it becomes a different book. You know what I mean?
I like that.
Yeah. It becomes a different book because it's like, this is through technology, we're able to realize the dream that Anti-Oedipus had, in a way.
The end of lack, the end of subjectivity, the end of desire. And the full immersion in machinic connections to other bodies, etc. Without a mediating third party, without the signifier, without the law, without prohibition. Thus, without subjectivity.
I wrote a note in my notes to Anti-Oedipus. I was like, we're gonna, like, this book wants us to get to the point where we can't read it. Like, that's the ideal, like, because the signifier is gonna, we can't make sense of the words on the page, even, like, is that really the
well,
future
no. So
like,
here's the thing. The thing is, okay, they're not denying words when they say the signifier. What they mean. Well, yeah. And what they mean by it is basically our symbolic mandated identities. Because when you're a child, when you start to take on signifiers that name you, which tell you what you are, it locks you into a space of identity, which limits difference. It renders difference subservient to your symbolic identity. And instead of becoming and always having this morphological plastic relation to oneself, which self you have to put in quotes, because more than anything, you're not a stable, enduring self. You're just the ongoing process of becoming, which would be marked by fluidity, the difference, etc. And so, what they don't like about the signifier, like, okay, if somebody says I am a philosopher, and you take being a philosopher as the mark of your stable, symbolic, enduring identity, they're going to have an issue with that because it freeze frames you, it locks you into place, and now you're not free to connect and become and etc. So when they say the signifier, they mean this type of symbolic identity that names you or defines you within the social space.
That's fine, but isn't the end result like I'm sure you're right, but like isn't the end result of that still this like what we're kind of living through, which is like a post-literate society? Like if you can't have like any way to sit yourself down to say like no, I'm going to put aside something I want to do and focus on this other thing. I'm going to put aside the distraction and focus on this. Like we can't read is what I'm trying to say. Like, and we're getting to a point of the society becoming like post-literate. And that's the problem with the post-literate society. And this is what people miss when they talk about it is that philosophy goes out the fucking door because that's how we've practiced it in at least in Western society for so long,
Yeah.
But
I would just say that one of the things when D&G, when they allude to this fourth symbolic regime or space or machine, however you want to talk about it, the new Earth, which is what would come after capitalism. I feel like for them, I'm like, you guys realize that for this to work, like all tedious labor would have to be automated. And yet I don't see any robust theory of automation in Anti-Oedipus. And so my thing is, okay, in this new Earth where desiring production is never inhibited, it's free to just spontaneously make whatever connections it feels like making spontaneously. Who does all the shit that has to be done
Sickos
in order to reproduce the society?
Sickos
Well, yeah,
and
like I
weirdos.
guess. Well, no, it's like, okay, so everybody's just a schizo out for a walk. Like,
yeah.
who raises children? Like, children just run around. Like, I don't buy this. I've never bought this image of some sort of social space where humans, desiring machines, spontaneously do whatever they want.
Yeah.
No, there's no order. There's no imposed law. There's no organizing signifier. I just think it's a fantasy of theirs.
Yeah.
that's the perfect word for it too. Fantasy.
Absolutely.
Right?
But for them, of course, they don't want desire to be caught up in the theater of fantasy or the theater of representation.
Right.
And yet I can't help but think that's exactly, they're more caught up in it than anybody.
Yeah.
So, but okay. So here's the thing. Let's go back for a second. Why is D.A.R.Y.L the superior
Back to the
AI
movies.
kid film
Yeah.
over? I mean, and there's a lot of these. I mean, we could talk about Astro Boy. We could talk about Alita. Does Wally qualify as a AI kid? Kind of. I mean, he doesn't look like a kid, but he's childish.
Well, and then the
not
movie,
in a mean way, just a bad way.
I Am Mother, on
I Am
Netflix,
Mother.
like that kind of inverts the child position. It's a human child being raised by AI, but there's some.
They just didn't they just talk about this on Benjamin Studebaker and Nina Powers podcast? I think they just did I Am Mother.
Did they talk about this film?
Oh shit.
I Am Mother. Yeah. I'm pretty sure
Usually,
they just did.
I like their podcast. I listen to them discuss films. They made me, I haven't watched it yet, but the two of them really made me want to watch Babe. Pig in the City.
Yeah.
So I got a copy of them. Like, they're like, this movie is fucking nuts. So whenever I have a chance, I'm going to watch it.
It looked fucking insane. It did look that way.
Frank Miller, who did the Mad Max films, he directed this sequel to Babe.
No way. Did he?
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's wild.
So
that's a trip.
But I haven't listened to this new episode. If they did, I Am Mother. I watched it. I like the film. I think it goes well. It's watching AI and then I Am Mother. It's a good double feature. Well, so is AI and D.A.R.Y.L, but fuck it, do a triple feature. But yeah, what I like about I Am Mother is that the kid has this moment of an intervening third party come along, and it breaks this dyadic relationship between the kid and the mother. But there's already a bit of separation going
Yeah.
on before that.
Yeah.
But this third party shows up and really intervenes. And I like these moments where it's like, okay, detach, don't be glued to the mother figure.
Yeah.
Become an independent person, a subject.
Yeah.
And I think I Am Mother gets at that. Now, I don't know. Sometimes I'm surprised with whether Benjamin or Nina like a certain film or not. So I don't know what they'll say, but as far as D.A.R.Y.L goes, so
Mhm.
all right, first off, anybody listening, if you're a fan of Stranger Things, you'll like this movie
Yep.
just because of the way it looks.
Yep.
It is very 80s Stranger Things aesthetic from the get. It just has that vibe. There's a pivotal scene in the film that I think it's the core moment of the film, and I think it's why Nance and I like it so much. So I'll add in my two. You want to talk about it, Nance? Because I know you have
Yeah,
thought a lot about it too.
It is. I think it's a gem of a movie. Like, and I think it's man, I miss going to Video Update and Hollywood Video and Blockbuster and walking
For
around.
me, it was Video Biz.
Yeah, like looking at the box art of a movie and trying to get an idea. Like, is this what I want? Because I don't know, maybe once a month, maybe twice a month, we would get to go pick out a movie. You know, you get to rent a movie, you get popcorn, you get to order pizza, and it's a night, right? And you got to be on
You're
your
making
best
me
behavior,
nostalgic.
dude.
Oh my god! Like I'm sitting there, take me home,
Yeah,
please.
dude.
Sorry, Todd.
We had
but that's
Crazy
where I
Mike's.
belong. God damn it!
We had a local one. It was called Crazy Mike's.
Crazy Mike's, holy
Hey.
shit.
Yeah.
But so you go, and the way D.A.R.Y.L presented itself to me, Mikey and I were having a conversation about something, and then it was just at the end of the conversation, Mikey was like, "Oh, by the way, have you seen this?" And I saw the box art, and it immediately, I was like, "I've seen that fucking movie."
Because everybody our age knew the box art, even if they didn't have the chance to rent the movie.
Yeah, dude.
And so I should say I watched this movie once when I was a kid. It's not one of the ones like the ones I watched like 300 times. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead and Rad and
yeah,
Just
dude.
One of the Guys.
Gleaming the Cube.
Like these are Gleaming the Cube. Like I watched these a shit ton, right? This was one I rented one time and watched it, and as a kid, it's hard to remember what I thought about it when I was 8 or 9 years old, but I think I thought it was boring, and I just was like, whatever.
It's a great movie for us now. And that's what I like about it. Like that's why I think
it was smarter than I was at 8 years old or 9 years old.
No, and I think that like watching the movie when the pivotal scene happens at the baseball field, I was like, this is genius. This is fucking brilliant.
Me too. And it's crazy, Sean. So like after both of us watched it, we immediately start talking at baseball field scene.
Yeah,
and we both were locked onto it.
Yeah.
So Nance, tell people what. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Sean.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think that probably is like the most important scene. So go on. Yeah.
Okay, if there's one consensus made today, then it's the baseball scene. It's the only thing that the three of us will agree on wholeheartedly. The whole stream.
So in the movie,
tell them about it, Nance.
Up to that point, D.A.R.Y.L almost presents as this kind of psychotic David in a way, because he's
or autistic, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, sure. Like David is this, or D.A.R.Y.L is this weird autistic. Like he doesn't fit in. And it's weird, and he's like, he just wants to please, I can't remember her name now, but he wants to please his mother, and she's upset because he's so helpful, and he always does all these things for me, and he always helps out, and what that can't be normal. She
never gets to feel like a mom.
Yeah, he's depriving her of her symbolic position as the mother by him being
to correct him when
so
he fails.
Positivistic, and he's perfect at everything because he's a robot, and it's the 80s, and robots in the 80s were perfect at everything. But he has this moment where his little bad news bears friend tells him, like, no, the point is sometimes you have to fuck up. That's what love's about. That's what being a son is all about. Sometimes you have to fuck up just a little bit, not too much. just enough. And it's that moment where he's at the baseball field and he's hitting dingers and he's perfect. And then he has the conversation with Bad News Bears kid. I can't remember the kid's name either.
What's the little guy's name? Hold on.
Boogers or something.
I'll look it up.
It's not Booger.
It's not Boogers.
But it's something like that.
Hold on.
He has the personality where the kid would want his name to be Boogers.
Yeah,
so
dude.
Yeah. Is it? Oh shit, Barrett Oliver. Where is his fucking name? Oh, it's Turtle.
Turtle. That's it.
Yeah.
Turtle.
Yes.
Turtle explains to him, like, because you see Turtle as this troublemaker figure, but it's such a good movie, guys. Seriously, like there's
Watch D.A.R.Y.L.
Yeah, go watch D.A.R.Y.L.
Dude, that's because it's back when they used to make kids movies for the parents.
Yeah.
As you can tell.
So the parents and the kids could watch together.
And now they make fucking nightmares that are so infuriating to watch as like an adult, you know?
Some of them go hard. I have to say, I do watch a lot of kids movies, and some of them are really good, but a lot of them are trash. A lot of them are straight trash, dude.
I mean, I'll always defend Wally.
Wally's one of the greatest movies of all time.
Yeah.
But yeah, to take it back to D.A.R.Y.L, that's the moment where negation comes into D.A.R.Y.L's life, and D.A.R.Y.L has to understand that he can't always please everyone around him. He can't always be the object of the other's desire. Sometimes in a sense, he is still being an object for the mother, but it's not as performative. Like, he loves her and he wants her to be happy, and that's why he is developing the ability to fail.
All the core Lacanian stuff is there about what it is to be a subject. So he realizes that her explicit parental, maternal demands are not what she really wants.
Yes.
There's this other dimension of her that wants something for him. And you can't really pinpoint it because it's not just, I want you to fail as such. She wants you to fail in a certain way, but she herself can't explicitly tell you what that is. So now he's opened up to having to interpret the desire of the other.
Yep.
And so he's like, okay, I have to lack, I have to not be perfect in order to be desirable. And now I have to like figure out what that means and how to cope with that. So now, because I don't have an easy answer, I feel my own lack. And now I'm realizing like I can't just be identical with my mandate as son, like, because the official mandate of a son would list all these good qualities of a son. Now somehow being a proper son is also failing to be a proper son. What does that mean?
Yeah.
And it also entails acts of self-destruction or self-undermining.
Yep.
So death drive kicks in at this moment because he enjoys this act of self-destruction. He fails to be a good baseball player. So this scene,
and he mouths off too.
Like also the transgression.
To put the icing on the cake. Yeah.
So you have the Lacana Seminar 7 with transgression and jouissance are tied up together, and prohibition eroticizes and all that kind of stuff is tucked away in this scene.
So I'm hearing we don't need to read Lacan. We can just watch D.A.R.Y.L.
Just watch D.A.R.Y.L. Yeah, and at this point, fuck reading Lacan to the letter. Just go watch D.A.R.Y.L. instead. You'll get more. You'll get better Lacanian theory from him than a lot of these Lacanian scholars out there.
Yeah.
So this is about halfway through the film. Then more typical 80s, themes come up throughout the rest of it.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. But I love the ending of the film too. Yeah. And I think on a superficial first watch, you would say, okay, because look, D.A.R.Y.L gets captured. They take him back to the military base or research base where he was at, where they developed him. And his family now has to break him out. They have to figure out how to free him. So shenanigans ensue, and they break him out. Then they think they've lost him, And so it ends with him running. He escapes and he gets free, and he reconciles with them, so to speak. He gets back home. They embrace him, and it ends on this moment, this kind of phantasmatic moment, which seems to be a moment of wholeness, reconciliation, etc. But here's the thing: I don't think it's that at all. I think it is him entering into a solidarity based on lack. I am a
Hmm.
lacking subject like
Yep.
the rest of you. And it's on
Yeah.
the basis of my lack, my incompleteness, that I'm a member of this family, not some fulfilled, substantial identity. And I think the ending actually is an affirmation of embracing each other in our lack. And that's what makes us human. That's what makes us family.
Yep.
Yeah. Totally.
Dude, it legit blew my mind. Like watching this movie was like, it was like, holy shit. This is fucking brilliant. This is the opposite of Hollywood brain, idiotic. Oh, we have to have the happy ending. We have to have everything be affirmative, and we have to have like,
Even though there is a happy ending, it's still it is a happy ending, but it's not this wholeness. Like that's what you're
No,
saying.
Yeah,
it's a
dude.
happy ending because they
Yeah.
beat they beat the bad guys,
Yeah.
but it's not happy in the sense of, oh, everything's going to be perfect from here on out. No,
Yeah.
the point is Daryl's going to continue to grow. He's going to have struggles of his own. Is he going to age the way that the rest of the family members age? Well, that could be a lack in him
Mm-hmm.
that he has to deal with. I mean, if he has a machinic endoskeleton, whatever you want, like Terminator,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's not going to grow. He's going to be a
Yeah.
kid for. There's all these ways that he's
The
going to lack and struggle the rest of his life, but it's on the basis of being part of this family that embraces him in those lacks.
yeah.
It's a
That
There's
genuine.
nothing. Yeah. There's nothing about the end of the movie that rules out the possibility that Daryl becomes a fucking alcoholic and blows his brain out at
Yeah,
30. That's
dude.
that's
Yeah.
why it's a good movie. Like
Yeah.
because that could happen. Anything could happen. You know, it's
that's what I
not
like
saying
about
it's
it.
Yeah.
likely, but that could be what happens next. That could be part two of Daryl, you know?
It's a
Yes,
genuine
I don't get
non-belonging.
a every and they lived happily ever after. I don't get that vibe from that
Yeah.
ending.
Yeah.
So I just, as we were talking, I just thought about two movies. Batteries Not Included, and Short Circuit 1 and 2. Now it's been a long time since I've seen either of these movies.
Now I love the short circuit movies, two of my favorites
Dude,
from 80s
Los
childhood.
Lobos kick your
Absolutely.
ass. Los Lobos kick your face.
Yeah,
Los Lobos kick your balls into
Oh,
outer space.
space.
Fucking
I
I
do
Johnny
like,
Five still alive. Have you seen these movies,
dude, I'm
Sean?
sorry, there's no
Dude,
better articulation of what Nick Land calls in AI's will to think than
Been
input,
Johnny Five,
need
yeah.
input. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
dude, I don't think I've seen this movie.
Oh,
Short
Circuit?
you gotta
Short
watch both
circuit.
of them.
Okay. So
Yeah.
Wally, the character design of Wally draws heavily on Johnny Five from
Yeah.
Short Circuit.
Yeah, he's just like
Short
miniaturized
Circuit,
Johnny
yeah.
Five.
Yeah.
And then Batteries Not Included is a weird one.
I haven't seen that one probably in 30 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. But this idea, and the reason these two movies jumped into my head is because I'm trying to think about other movies from the same time frame that have happy endings that
Dude, they
that are
talked about
purely positive and affirmative.
fucking Iron Giant also on the lack.
I did
And,
listen to that.
Yeah,
I did listen to
yeah.
that.
And they did not like Iron Giant enough. I must say.
Mm.
They were
So
not,
I don't have the connection to that film. Like I think people who are younger love that movie.
I fucking love that
Was that a
movie.
90s
Okay.
movie?
I fucking love that movie. I saw it when I was a kid. I don't know when it came out even.
Benjamin and Nina point out like this was at this transitional phase where were moving away from the classic animation style into like computerized digital animation.
99.
And so it's an old school looking like Disney animation, Peter Pan, Jungle Book,
hand drawn.
Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that. It's just I didn't see this movie. I didn't see Iron Giant until probably 6 years ago
Yeah.
when it was probably Ready Player One because there's such a reference to that in it where I'm like, yeah, I never watched that movie, But damn, the people I know who are younger who love it, they love the shit out of that movie.
Yeah, dude. I was so surprised he said how bad it did at the box office in that Benjamin said. And I'm
Mhm.
like, because I love that movie. And he said when he saw it as a kid, he didn't like it. Dude, I remember that so fondly as a kid, you know.
Mm.
Mhm.
Just this giant, like lovable, like friend that you run into and then you have to like, you know, try and protect your friend. And that's all I remember. I just remember
Didn't
friendship.
Benjamin say like there's a scene though where like its monstrous side pops out for a
Yeah.
second?
Yeah, yeah,
And
and that's what as a kid he said it would like terrified him, but like I don't remember it that way as a
See,
kid. I remember it like, you
I
know,
think
I
like
remember like there's a scary moment, but I remember it's just like when your friend gets mad and you know hits you with a stick is you know,
I think
and but then you like hang out afterwards and you know
it's all
have some
good.
Capri Suns and it's all good.
yeah, dude. I
Lunchable.
didn't see that movie until I was an adult also, but I remember listening to that episode. And I think I disagreed with Benjamin, and I'd have to listen to that episode again to really get into why. Um but I
Was
do
this the
think
one
like
where he was saying that like the thing doesn't love you or it
he,
doesn't care for you? Is this where he was doing that?
yeah, the thing is like he was concerned with like functional I think he was being overly functionalistic and positivistic and like turning
Or was this
the
where the
other into the
babysitter doesn't
thing.
love him, so he's
Yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
remember
Like
this.
for me, it's like
Yeah.
no, that's part of entering the ethical relation with the other is like stepping into this space of not of anti knowledge. Like it is a negative space.
The Levinasian thing.
Yeah,
Mm.
and for me, like I think like no, you have to accept like the loving friend and the potential monster, and you have to be able to.
Yeah,
That's up to you as the person in
totally.
question. Like you have to deal with the uncanniness of the other, with the unknowability
Yeah.
of the other. Like that's what ethics is. And so I remember disagreeing with Benjamin on that point. I
I
think that, like the ethics is the magic sauce of the human. Like I think subjectivity and ethics are in a weird way the same thing because it's like predicated on a negativity, and
yeah.
it's like the agent then takes an active role in developing the dialectic, whether you're with the world and the object or you're with the other. Like that's the joy of being a human, man. We can never know, and that's why to
Yeah.
say philosophy, like religion is the idiot cousin or the idiot twin of philosophy, I think gets at it because religion is trying to positivize and objectify, and philosophy is forever resisting objectification and
Mhm.
substantialization.
Totally,
Um,
totally. And dude, I that was inspired from something Moeller said about the like when people ask like, especially like academics, they're like, what is the point of philosophy, man? Like, what do you can't even get a job with it? What's the
yeah,
point
dude.
of and Moeller's like, you always got to come up with some kind of fucking answer for these people. But what he said is like, well, what he started saying is that the social role, what philosophy actually does in society, is it critiques religion.
Yeah.
So I got that from Moeller, and that also makes me really want to ask you guys: did you guys watch the Moeller uh versus like what's it called? Zizek's book on Christianity or on
Christian
Oh,
atheism.
Christian
oh,
atheism? Did you guys watch
yeah.
that,
You
and what
sent
did
I
you
me
think
that,
of
didn't.
it?
dude. You,
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't had a chance because it's a bit
Okay,
long.
it is long, yeah, but
This
I
is and carefree wandering, right?
yep.
Is that
Carefree
the
Carefree Wandering.
Wandering.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. We got to come back next time and talk
Yeah, we need
about
to do
morality.
like
Yeah.
almost like a
Yeah,
react video. I don't mean we watch it together, but we could come back and
dude,
actually just discuss it.
yeah, we could do a React video. That'd be kind of fun too.
Yeah.
Like it's that'd be cool. But yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but if
like
if the video itself is 2 hours, we'll be here for 8
Yeah,
if we're
dude.
chiming in.
yeah, yeah,
If it was a
yeah.
15-minute video, cool, but
It's a great video. I got a shit ton out of it, and I have his book now, the Moral Fool. So I got to read
Mm.
that too. Because
yeah.
like he makes a compelling case. So I like we'll have to talk about it once we've all
Yeah.
watched it. Though. Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, it's interesting, right, to think this whole thing with philosophy, religion, the economy, science,
The
right?
object,
The state.
AI.
So think about all these movies that depict AI robots. It's either the state that makes them or it's
Yes.
capital that makes them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the way you approach them is different, whether it's the state that makes them or whether it's capital.
They're either a
Capital,
sex bot or they're a gun.
Mm.
Right. And by sex bot, I almost wish there was a broader term, because even though sex bots and care bots are different,
I'm
they're
including them. Like,
some human.
yeah.
I almost want like what would the term
Companionship
be?
bot. They're either a companionship bot or they're a gun bot.
Care bot.
Right. Yeah.
It's a care bot or a gun bot.
Yeah.
In other words, they are there to enforce security, or they're there to meet some sort of basic human desire,
Yeah.
pleasure, jouissance, etc. And so most of the depictions typically are what? State. Okay, so D.A.R.Y.L is made by the government.
Mm-hmm.
Alita is made by the government. Isn't Astro Boy
well,
made by
Astro Boy was kind of made by the government, but also kind of made similar to David to fill a lack in the creator. Now, I think AI dropped the ball with that. I think they could have done more with the doctor building David to replace his son. But in Astro Boy, it's a state scientist who makes weapons, but he makes Astro Boy to replace his lost son. So you get both, because he is a gun,
dude.
But he's also like he represents this lost son.
And in D.A.R.Y.L is made for like pure experimentation. Like D.A.R.Y.L is made originally like out of just like the wonder of a scientist. You know, and then it comes afterwards. You go like the Jarhead bullshit shows up, and then it goes, oh, we need to delete D.A.R.Y.L and start over and make a gun super soldier. You know, So this is how. So it perfectly shows how like science is just co-opted like immediately. The second there's a scientific breakthrough, it has to be co-opted by the military-industrial complex. Like it's such a perfect
right.
You know,
because Skynet's a business, right? It's a corporation, or was it? It wasn't the state, was it?
So initially,
corporation or something?
Skynet was the state. But
was it?
It was a contract. Like Cyberdyne Systems was a military contractor initially.
Okay.
But then in the Terminator Genesis, I think it becomes a commercial thing, and like because they fucked up the timeline with the one where John Connor becomes a Terminator himself, and it's all weird. Spoiler alert, bitches. Terminator Genesis or
don't
not
watch
Genesis.
those; they're not worth watching. Just watch
I don't
Terminator
know.
1 and 2.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I have to like I just had a fucking epiphany, dude. This would be the shit. D.A.R.Y.L 2. It isn't. He becomes an alcoholic and blows his brains out at 30.
He becomes the Terminator.
D.A.R.Y.L 2. No, he doesn't become a Terminator. It's they do build the super soldiers, and then D.A.R.Y.L has to save the fucking world from the fucking super soldiers. That's D.A.R.Y.L 2.
Okay.
So would that be?
Yeah, like
holy shit! No, Robot Jocks. Mikey, have you fucking seen Robot Jocks?
Dude,
no.
Fucking Robot Jocks.
Robot Jocks?
JOX.
How
Everybody
old is
listening
that?
at home. Everybody listening at home, stop what you're doing. Google Robot Jocks. Robot Jocks, JOX. Google it. Watch it right now. Sean, I'm begging you to watch this movie. It's a great movie. It came out in the 80s, dude. I can't
If you
remember.
beg, I'll do anything.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier. But I think it's similar to Gundam, probably, if you've seen Gundam, where there's like giant robots that fight each other. It's instead of countries going to war, giant robots fight each other.
All right, everybody, and just so you know, Jocks is here spelled JOX.
Yeah, JOX. What year did it come out?
1990.
Oh, 1990.
89, it looks like. Or at least
89?
according to what I read, it said 89. But
okay,
whatever.
So there's a quote in this movie where it's like the old coach, like how Rocky has the old coach, and he's all like the old man and he's wise. Like there's a line where there's like an old grizzled someone talking to someone. It's been a while since I've seen this, but he's talking about like yeah, I'm an old man now, but inside of me still lives like the young boy that I once was, and I will always be I will always be the same young boy, but I've added more on. And he's talking about like not just character development, but also like subjectivity in this weird way. I don't know. I might rewatch this tonight. But yeah,
Like, see,
so
I have a vague memory of this. Like, there's certain, oh, damn, the Blu-ray. If you want to pick up the Blu-ray on Amazon, it is currently going for $109.
oh
Damn. But dude,
It's
I'm
one of
telling you,
those. It's one of the really rare ones.
I need to fit it. I need to like. I'm sorry. I have to pitch Daryl 2 a little harder because, like, seriously, like, it's gonna be, it's gonna be like, it would be like they figured out the kink in the like to them what they see the military industrial complex sees as the problem is the negativity, and they take that bug
and they
out,
cover it over,
right?
yeah.
And they cover so they got these like positive super soldiers, and then it's Daryl on behalf of the human, right? As the machine fighting on behalf of the human with the negativity and all. You know, it'd be brilliant. It'd be brilliant.
What's the
Or I'm pitching
movie?
it to fucking Miramax or whatever tomorrow.
Is it Jean-Claude Van Damme, Soldier? Where he's or is it Cyborg? Dude, there were so many of these fucking movies. And then
Don't sleep on
Universal
Time
Soldier.
Cop.
Time Cop goes
God
hard, dude. I
damn.
just watched that recently. But yeah, there are so many of these movies from this time, 80s, 90s, where technology either saves the day or comes to destroy the planet, and we have to figure out a way to, I don't know, be a human and save the day. But there's very few of them that get the dichotomy or they get like, because they're all asking the question, what does it mean to be a human in reference to the machine? Like modernity has brought us into this theological space or ideological space, or empirical space, whatever, where we see ourselves as some kind of machine. But we also have a nagging suspicion that there's something that sets us apart from the machine. And I defend this. I do think there is something that sets us apart from machines, and I think it's the ethical. I think it's negativity. Shout out Damien, Science Fiction with Damien Walter. He just made a cool video about Blade Runner about this. Like, what is the difference between a human and a machine?
Wait, what was it?
Science Fiction with Damien Walter on YouTube.
Great channel.
Great channel. I watch almost all his videos. I think last week he put out a video about Blade Runner and empathy and like what makes a human. And I think that's like the zeitgeist. Like people are asking, what does it mean to be a human in this world of machines? In all these movies, the Terminator, Robot Jocks, Universal Soldier, Cyborg, D.A.R.Y.L, Short Circuit, they're all asking this and trying to cope with it in a way. And I think very few movies get it right. Very few movies are kind of tapped into this notion of negativity or lack being like the magic special ingredient of the human.
Yeah.
And that's why I think D.A.R.Y.L's so special. And that's why I think AI deserves conversation, because I think it's open to interpretation. Now I obviously understand that I'm very heavy-handed with my interpretation of AI, because it is a Hollywood-brained movie for idiots.
Do you guys think that there's any of this negative? Did we all watch Alita too?
Yeah, I mean,
do you think this
I'm so
negativity
fucking
is
mad we
there?
never got a sequel.
Yeah, Alita was a good movie. Alita was a good movie.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it, but
You didn't? Okay.
yeah.
Why?
But that's because I just felt like it was a fucking superhero movie. Really, that's all it really was. And I'm so tired of superhero. It's like she's a robot, but she has superpowers. That's pretty much what we're getting, you know. And I hate superhero. I'm so tired of superhero movies because it's just like, isn't it? I'm not like you get to fantasize about yourself not being lacking. Isn't that why we like superheroes?
Sure. It's also comforting because it's the second coming of Christ. Just Christ went out of fashion, and so now we talk about Superman instead of Jesus.
Yeah.
It's
exactly. He's just Jesus. And then he has a little then they go back just so that they can have a narrative. They can be like, "Oh, he has a lack. It's kryptonite." But it's just like that's just so you can keep having a movie. It seems like it's just a plot device.
So, but with Alita and with Astro Boy, they're both some of my favorite movies. I think with both of them, they start out lacking, and it's because they're lacking, then they kind of develop into. And I think I'm less convinced of Alita and Astro Boy. Are they subjects or are they like positivistic objects? D.A.R.Y.L to me is a full blown subject. Sorry.
Totally. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Alita, I'm less sure, but I do know that I like it
David
so much.
is when he dies.
Yeah, Dave. Yeah,
if he dies, he's a
yeah.
subject.
There is no Act 4 of AI. The last 45 minutes of that movie
We'll just
don't
clip that off,
exist.
Exactly. It'd be a fucking great movie. It really would.
It would be.
Yeah.
But like Alita wakes up and she doesn't even know she's a robot.
Yeah.
She thinks she's a little girl and she has amnesia and she's kind of coming to terms with remembering who she is, and Christoph Waltz gives a great performance as her repairer / caregiver, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a trace of subjectivity there if you're doubting who you are.
Right.
Like that's the hysterical position.
She starts out as lacking, and then she ends at the end as like
fully
she doesn't
positivized.
Lack. That's how all superhero movies come across to me. You know, is like, and because I think about how I felt as a kid walking out of a superhero movie, and I think every kid is having the same thing where they're like looking at their hands like they can shoot fire out of them.
Yeah.
And I just think it's
Or
this
spider
fantasy
webs.
of like you're special. Like you really are special. You're not lacking in this sad way that all the other people are.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm so tired of fucking superhero movies. And that's why I didn't like Alita, is because I felt like it was she's a robot, but really it's just a superhero movie, you know, repackaged.
I mean, if you're gonna have a power, turning water into wine. I mean, let's keep the party going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Jesus. Yeah. Jesus Christ is just a superhero movie. Yeah.
So, I mean, look, okay, we've talked about a lot of them so really we're focusing on AI robots that are children. But then you get into the broader thing of like AI robots in general, Terminator, Blade Runner, etc. I mean, look, like T2, doesn't he end on a note of subjectivity?
That's the thing. I think so. Yeah, dude. Like the first Terminator is the monstrous object.
Mhm.
Terminator 2, he becomes a subject because he's going against.
He can't cry.
Yeah.
He can't cry.
Yeah.
But he knows why we cry.
Right.
Yeah. Well, which one is Terminator 2?
Judgment Day.
I never keep them
baby.
straight. Yeah, totally. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, absolutely.
When they're in
that's
Mexico
a great movie.
and they're
Yep. Yeah, no, you guys are right. That's a great movie. It's like he understands subjectivity at the end.
Yeah.
Even if it's just an inkling or a trace, he's tapped into it.
Yeah.
And
even if he doesn't become a subject, he's still like, oh, I kind of get it.
In a way that the other Terminators haven't.
Yeah, exactly.
So
he sees it as something worth defending.
He can recognize the infinity or the infinite singularity of the other at the end of T2, whereas before
the intrinsic worth.
Yeah, as before everything for him was totalized and everything was just functional.
Oh, T2 is AI. If the last quarter is cut off because he becomes a subject by dying.
So D.A.R.Y.L
seriously, it is that movie. In death, he becomes a subject. Like
D.A.R.Y.L is, or not D.A.R.Y.L. David becomes the T-800. I think Terminator 2 could also be D.A.R.Y.L 2. Like that is D.A.R.Y.L's story. Yeah. He's fighting Skynet. He wouldn't be as big as Arnie.
No.
And as imposing as Arnie. But yeah, like that's the story of the substance becoming subject. When it seems to be the case that like the idiotheological, I don't know, landscape of the world that we live in today, everyone is trying to turn subject back into substance, back into substance. Like everybody wants a one-on-one positivistic identification. Even asking the question, what makes a human different from a machine, I think is a bit too hubristic, because I think the only answer, like the only ultimate, like cosmic answer, the only truth is that, like, you shouldn't be asking that question, because you'll never have a satisfying answer. Like there will never be a sufficient answer. That's only something you can know from the inside. That is like noumenal knowledge in a way, and trying to phenomenalize it, like trying to positivize it, trying to make it imminent, is already doing a disservice. I can't tell you, but there's still, I think part of being the subject is like giving credit to the other subject, saying, well, I recognize it, so I'm going to have faith that the other recognizes it as well. But I'm not convinced that the majority of people, at least the majority of people on the internet, do recognize that. Like, I think,
well, isn't that the problem that we dislike so much, is that everybody's, what do we call them? We say bots.
Yeah. NPCs,
here go the
bots.
bots.
Yeah.
We talk about them as machines because they're acting like machines with how they respond to things. And there's never any distance from self. There's never a hysterical relation to oneself, which is to say, you doubt whether you're truly MAGA or not. You doubt whether you're woke or not. You doubt whether you're Marxist or not. Like, when you speak from this position of, I know exactly who I am, I know exactly what's right, and I know, like, they don't get that's a machinic position to speak from.
Yeah. But hey,
and that's why, I mean, the pervert is the one who's certain that they're fulfilling the will of the big other.
Yep. All you have to do, Mikey,
they're the instrument of the big other.
Be quiet, go back to work, read Lenin, and let
Lenin, peasant worker.
Yeah, let the smart people figure it out. They're gonna do something.
Actually, don't read Lenin. We'll read Lenin for you.
We'll read Lenin for you, and we'll tell you what to do. You've got too much work to do.
Pull those orders, peasant.
Get back to work, dude.
We are the Lacan masters over here. We are the vanguard over here.
I think I don't know, man.
And if you don't agree, we'll sue.
Yeah, we'll we'll get litigious.
Get litigious on your ass.
I've been thinking a lot about this, like, objective position, this certain position where no one has the critical distance. Like, everybody is just sure of history, sure of their political positions, sure of their, oh, these people are absolutely good, these other people are absolutely evil. There's been a lot of crazy shit going on in the world right now, and it seems to be the case that, like, the internet is collectively getting off on just doubling down on, like, ready-made positions. But it's also true. Like, I was just yesterday, I was like, man, I really should start telling everyone I'm a radical leftist, and I really should. I think it matters, because, like, the military is being deployed to Portland, and there's helicopters circling, and that, who knows if it'll go any further than that, because I don't know, man. I've seen pictures of the protests. It's like 14 anarchists outside the ICE.
It's literally like
facility.
14 people standing out there.
So I don't know if anything's...
And then you're like, how much
the complaints that all the neighbors have is from the fucking like pepper or the pepper, like the smoke blowing from the cops blowing into their fucking houses and shit. That's in the school nearby.
I just end up feeling like, how much of this is simulation?
That's the thing, dude. Like,
totally, even if it, like, oh, I just had like 8 thoughts at once. Go ahead, Nance.
I just, like, it is this kind of simulatory experience, and it's all playing out in this, well, shit, like Mikey and I or like I was saying last night, like, I would be fine to plug into a computer and just disappear into video game world. Like, I don't moralize, or I don't want to be normative about, like, oh, it's important to be embodied. While I do think it's important to be embodied, maybe we could figure out a way to upload our brains. That would be cool too. But it would be a simulation. And when we're trapped online, we're trapped on our devices, and we're trapped in this, like, online simulation of discourse. all that is dependent on the material world, and all that is dependent on these metabolic processes that are untenable, unsustainable. The planet's on fire. We're all going to fucking die very soon. And the more time we spend engaging in online simulations of discourse, first of all, the more removed from actual meaning we get, because the overwhelming majority of shit that happens here is not real communication. Meaning, it's like you're throwing shit at the wall and watching it hit the wall, but you're convinced that someone caught it at the other end. Like when all you do is stay in comment sections and stay on the internet, nothing is really happening. There's no payoff. Like you do need to go out, go to the bowling alley, go to the grocery store, go walk down the park. Like there needs to be a payoff.
And that's why, Nance, like don't respond to the fucking shit with that Trump is doing, because it is like pure fucking spectacle, and it's so don't, because and the thing is, like, the reason why I'm like not, I don't even call myself a leftist, let alone a radical leftist, is because, sorry, the right is correct when it's critiquing Antifa as being like or because Antifa isn't an organization, whatever. It's like, but people who associate themselves with that as being like, the attitude does become anyone who is not inside of the Antifa group is evil.
Yeah,
we are the good ones.
Good,
you know, it's pervert. And the right is actually correct when they're doing that. They're saying like they're pointing out that it's perverse. They're not using that term, but that is the mentality. It's a perverse mentality. So it's the same. I'm still in the like, I would prefer not to participate in this. You know, I would.
And that's my mindset.
Yeah.
So I got it last time. Nance and I had a discussion. I said some shit that pissed off or annoyed some of the Marxists who watch us, and I never got a chance to respond to it. But I mean, if you go look at the comments, and like, somebody was mad because I don't believe unions are some
radical
force of like
dude,
liberation.
I love that discussion you guys did when you said it when you were like, is that the last time you guys talked? Yeah, when I think, Mikey, you said that there is no fucking solidarity between workers. Dude, that's so, thank you for fucking just saying that. It's just like, it's fucking true. It's just true.
And I don't think a union, like, I'm sorry, like, somebody can quote, like, I helped organize this and we got these gains. And I'm sitting here, like, I think because I do theory, it's like, you realize I do work in a warehouse. Like, I can also, and is it workerish to go, well, I'm speaking as a worker now? I don't know. But I can just tell you that if I am going to do the speaking as a worker thing, I can say, all right, man, if you think that organizing a union would get us a little bit more pay, or it's going to get us a little bit more health benefits, man, I'm so off crumbs. You have to give me an entirely different lifestyle.
Dude.
I don't care about, oh, well, you'll still have crumbs, but they'll just be a little bit
better crumbs.
Do I have to pay union fees, and do I have to fucking go to meetings, and then it's not worth it. I don't care. It's just you would have to offer me such a qualitatively better life through and show me empirically that this is possible to do nowadays. You get a bunch of workers to organize under a Marxist banner or a socialist banner. They form a union. They get qualitative, like, oh, guess what? Before we worked 5 days a week and we got, $25 an hour. Now we work 3 days a week and we get $80 an hour. Okay, now you're talking.
Yeah.
But unless you're bringing that type of
I
just don't give a shit.
I just applied for a fucking Teamster job. And I was in the interview. I'm talking with this lady who's like a representative of the fucking union, and they cap out. Their seniority caps out at $31 an hour. That means once you're like 3 or 5 years in, whatever it is, you're at $31 an hour. You never get 1 penny more than that.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
Your entire career there. That's like,
crazy, dude.
What the fuck? The most powerful industrial union in the country cannot negotiate.
And I'm supposed to have faith in unions.
Yeah.
What the fuck, right?
Dude, see, that's where I'm like, look, okay, I don't know if I've ever just said this publicly. I mean, it's not like I've been hiding it. I just have never. My favorite political analyst or political theorist is Benjamin Studebaker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's because I think he's more tapped in to how the way is shut,
Yeah.
than anybody.
Yeah.
And I think he knows, like, I think he knows unions aren't going to do it. Protesting isn't going to do it. Doing your typical Republican Democrat shit's not going to do it. What he's doing is showing how none of these are open pathways to a truly robust, better future.
Right.
I think that's fucking it. And I don't know how he would agree, because I've never really gotten to ask him this. I think it's Zizekian. I think he operates on the courage of hopelessness. You have to reckon with the fact that all of the ways are shut. And then you still have to have the courage in that hopelessness that we're going to do something. We're going to find a way.
Yep.
But it's not going to be these older ways. And so, you know, I love that. Look, there's other theorists, of especially political theorists. If I hear him talking, I'm listening. Chris Catrone.
Yeah.
If I see him talking, I'm listening. Right. But I'm closer, I think, to Benjamin's position than anything.
Yeah.
And I'm just not convinced that any of the typical ways or old methods are going to do it.
Yeah. And the platypoids are going to think that you've been poisoned by Studebaker's pessimism
okay.
or something.
I don't think you're going to get Americans to organize under the signifier socialist at all.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's been my point. But like, I want to say about unions really quick is that like, I'm definitely not opposed to the idea.
Well, neither am I.
I mean, and I don't think you are either. But like,
I'm just saying they're not going to get me what I'm looking for.
No, and they're not. It's crazy that fucking. What's crazy is that we had union labor, and it didn't reduce the fucking working day. Like this country was like a third unionized, and it never reduced the working day. In fact, the workers at fucking Kellogg's after the Great Depression ended, they didn't need to go back to throughout the Great Depression. They worked like 30-hour weeks in order to employ more people. They decided to do that. The workers then, after the Great Depression was over, voted to go back to 40-hour weeks. They did that voluntarily, explicitly, with the reason given so that they could buy more shit.
Well, just demand higher wages so you can buy more shit while
you
working
can buy
less.
more shit. Yeah.
And so like what wages, less work. How hard is that to get?
Right, but this is what I'm saying is like the workerism and the mentality of even organized labor in this country has like,
and the bullshit work
it's not interested in reducing the working day. It's interested in buying more shit, giving us more money so that we can buy more shit. It's not even interested in us reducing the working day.
That's because consumers have no vision of what a life without work could be.
Yep.
Because they don't understand there's more to life than buying the new fucking iPhone.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I don't, oh, well, now we need the vanguard. See, this is where the Leninists will pop in and go, see, it's not going to happen unless you have a vanguard that's telling the workers, that giving them a vision of what, but that shit's not going to work either. Vanguard's not going to work.
Well, I'm sorry,
Protesting's
dude.
not going to work.
Yeah. Maybe a different vanguard. Maybe rebuild a new vanguard from the fucking ground up.
I think American working class people hate authority so much.
If it's a bunch of douchey, elitist, fucking PMC scumbags who are going to tell us that shut the fuck up and get back to work and where's your solidarity with your fellow workers, bitch. First of all, fuck you, because you're not about that life, and you better stop talking shit. Second of all, like. None of what we're saying is like, we're not saying we wouldn't accept improvements, and we're not saying, oh, it doesn't matter that a single mother can get paid a living wage. Like, no, of course all these things matter, but like the radical utopian future that you guys are promising us does not hinge on 14 fucking baristas being able to unionize in the gentrified fucking, get the fuck out of here. You want to talk about solidarity with the workers? Like, some of the best, most like talented, smartest, most beautiful people in the world I've ever known were workers. But because the system is so fucked up and because there is no solidarity for them, they fall through the fucking cracks and they go to fucking prison or they wind up on the fucking street. But they get lumpenized, to use your fancy fucking language, like, because there is no solidarity. And you're not going to solve that by calling people like us, who are still, again, some version of Marxist, post-Marxist, whatever you want to call it, who still believe in emancipation. But if you want to shut us away because we're not convinced of your elitist vanguard bullshit,
and we're not going to kiss your ass and tell you how smart you are.
Like, no, homie, because like fucking let's go. You want to go book for book? You want to go theory for theory? Like I know what the fuck we're about too at the same time. Like, yeah, we're dumbass workers, but you're a dumbass academic.
Yeah, and guess what, Ivory Tower elite? Don't fucking discredit or sell us short on what we can do with theory down here in the underground.
We're out here fucking fishing in the morning, writing poetry and fucking and critique in the afternoon, bitch. Like,
dude, I've been basically like, I didn't intend to do this, but I've been basically buying time using fucking credit. Like, I've literally will like work, get myself up to like above 0. And then I will just not work for a while until I'm in too far of credit card debt, and then I'll just work again.
That's bad.
It's retarded. It's like no way to fucking like live, but fucking fuck it, you know? Like I just want time.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what we all want.
That's what we all and that's what we deserve, and that's what we need.
So
and
my credit card debt is buying me more time than a union will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just, well, and so I'm just saying, when people are giving me shit and they're like, "Oh, you don't have any skin in the game." Well, okay, let me respond to that one. Okay, if skin in the game means siding wholeheartedly with the Democrats, yeah, I ain't got no skin in the game,
right?
Because I'm sorry,
where every
this
leftist
whole fucking
ends up.
Yeah, the whole culture war is a giant fucking simulation. I'm sorry, feeding into it, like you just said, I would prefer not to. That's what they would give me shit for in the other comments, I think, is like the Bartleby thing, where I'm like, no, withdraw from the culture war altogether, right? Because it is simulation. I don't know, you old school Marxists, I need to read Lenin.
Yeah.
You need to read Baudrillard and actually give him a fair shot, because so much of this shit of old school Marxist praxis that you think is going to drastically improve our lives isn't. It's not going to work. Something new has to take hold. Something else has to click into place.
So we'll see what happens, because Catrone is doing currently a new going to the people, which they're doing like what do they call it? Something for a socialist
campaign
party.
For socialist party.
And if anyone can like make it happen, if anyone can do that, it would be Catrone, right?
Yeah.
It would be. So like, and
if he's starting to make it happen, I'll jump on board.
Exactly. But I'm as skeptical as you with especially the signifier fucking socialism or communism. It's
Get the fuck out of here.
It's not gonna
have to use that shit.
Yeah.
I think,
but like I'll like to see them try, and I wish them all the best. I hope they fucking succeed. You know what I mean? I really do.
I think Chris.
Hey, anybody who gives me my time, energy, and a robust standard of living, that's my ally.
Right.
Yeah.
I think Chris is doing commendable work, and I think Chris has been doing commendable work for a long time. I really do. Like I think he
absolutely
he may have a reputation for being obstreperous or rough around the edges or whatever. Some people may not like him. Some people may just reduce him to being a Marxist. I think Chris has been doing commendable work for years. I also am I'm not convinced that it's going to work out. But I like, for me, what did Marx do? Marx explained value and how the production of value determines the opportunities that we will have in our daily lives. But value has changed, and that's why saying like, well, yeah, read Baudrillard. Like Baudrillard is dealing with what has happened to value, what has happened to exchange, what has happened to this, like
the loss of reference. And value is not tethered to labor power.
Right, dude.
It operates in a viral system network of its own, and
that's why I still do think of myself as a Marxist, because for me it is about value, and how does value determine where I am in the world and in relation to the global system that dominates and determines me and my children and my family and my friends and all of our lives. All of our lives are ruled over by value or capital or exchange, whatever. But that's what Marx is doing. Marx, like the historical materialism, this weird teleological shit that all these fucking Marxists always come up with, to me, it's like you're missing the fucking point of Marx. Like you're just kind of creating a new ideological value system, and you're keeping yourself trapped in this little box, and it sucks.
Well, what does AI do to this? What does AI do to value?
Right.
If it automates
Right.
the vast majority of the jobs away and there's less and less and less human labor power input,
Right.
how can you keep the idea that human labor power is the source of all
Right.
value?
No.
And
Nothing
dude,
has
and
Keep that going.
and they've
Nothing's
already made
changed.
work. They've already made work more fucking alienating. They've made it more alienating because we don't have to put any of ourselves into it, and we get less back than ever, right? So like we don't have to fucking think at work.
So we spend
And
all
that
day
makes it
repressing that self.
yeah. And so
that's what's exhausting about it. That's what
that's what's
zaps your
exhausting.
energy,
Exactly. Yeah.
bracketing yourself.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's
And
so,
I want to put a McGowian twist on it real quick. You know what's exhausting is performing that you're not an alienated subject.
Yeah.
You're alienated from your alienation.
Yeah.
And then and so they've
Everyday
they've
unhappiness.
extracted absolutely. And so they've extracted all of the like thought that the worker would have done through like tailorization and then automation, right? And that is like sucked all of that out and put it in the field of like the PMC. And now the PMC does the thinking. But then they've gone even further. But hold on. I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
Then they've gone even further. Then they've like keep moving it up to like higher levels of the PMC so that most of the PMC doesn't even fucking think. And they're AI automating what most of the PMC does too.
Yeah.
So they just continue tailorizing until there's like nobody except for like the people who program the AI eventually, who does any thinking, and even that programming,
and then the AI will program itself.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like
we can't pretend that automation is the same thing as what has happened when Marx was writing. It even if it's only quantitatively like different as an intensity, even if it's just an intensification, it's become something different.
Yeah.
You know,
I think The Hysterical Sublime by Matthew Flisfader kind of asks this question in a really important and really actually.
Oh no!
Yeah, I dropped
Exocapitalism.
Exocapitalism drop, but yeah, great book. We had a great conversation with Matthew. I would like to have more conversations about this book. But
I'd like
dude,
to go
we can do.
chapter
I have
by
some
chapter.
shit to say about that book for sure.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of it.
Yeah,
But,
dude. I
had one little gripe.
I knew you would. Well, I didn't know, but I thought you would like it.
Yeah.
But also Son Reffel and Kojin Karatani talking about like value in exchange and the taking intelligence or taking like the intellectual activity, taking the part of work that is engaging and removing it from work. And so like we're turning ourselves into the robot, where the robot is becoming more and more like us because it's extracting more and more of that like agential active part of work where you actually have to think about work. Like I've had jobs like metal fabricating. It's not the greatest job in the world, but it was really fun because there was a lot of creativity that kind of came up. And honestly, driving, like sometimes driving is really fun because it gets really stressful and it takes a type of mental ability and emotional ability. And I had pride. I'm a good driver. Like I'm proud of the fact that I'm a good driver, but like you can enjoy work or you can take pleasure in work when you invest parts of yourself into it. When you have to think about it or when you have to be creative or whatever. But they are turning every job into just a repetitive, like you do one exact thing. You don't have to think about it. Like, whereas the machine is becoming more and more like what we used to be. But nothing's changed. Like,
well, and let me tell you, okay, guys, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like that the entire system of production and the entire notion of alienation have changed. But for Marxists to sit back and act like nothing has changed and to sit back and act like the political project of Marxism from 150 years ago, 140 years ago, whatever, is exactly the same, should be exactly the same today as it was back then. It's just absurd to me. And it sucks because like there are a lot of really awesome things that have come out of political agitating and overt leftist activity. And I think I'm always going to have a soft spot for the left and identifying as a left. And like the reason I was thinking like I should just say I'm a radical leftist is because Trump just signed this like defense initiative or whatever, where having anti-capitalist and anti-Christian opinions puts you on the terrorism suspect list or whatever. And I was like, well, shit, I'm on the list. But no, like at the end of the day, what it comes down to is emancipation. Like I've always been I've always been interested in the idea of getting out from under this curse, the curse of value, the curse of the object, the curse of the commodity or whatever. And that matters more to me than people calling me a Marxist, or Marxists being mad at me, or people being mean on the internet. And because I don't know, it's just silly. But anyway, Chris is doing a good job. I just don't think it's going to work out.
Yep. Yeah. And then also, like, when it comes to de-skilling, I feel like there's this kind of like background understanding that we have that like anyone, like if you're in one of these jobs where like anyone could do it, we kind of know that. And so these are jobs that are strategically important for industry, right? That are de-skilled particularly.
Yep.
And those jobs, like, we don't take pride in that work.
Yeah.
So that, I think that factors into the decline in solidarity, because we know that like we're not fucking special. Any idiot could do this shit.
Yep.
You know. But yeah.
Robots,
Anyway.
man. Those pesky robots.
Dude.
And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you pesky kids and that damn robot. I don't know. So to get back to the overarching theme of this discussion we were having.
What was the? I don't remember what the theme was. What was it?
Don't eat yellow snow.
Don't eat yellow snow. No, I think
good one.
It was dealing with that question of like, what does it mean to be a human, and what makes us separate from machines. Like D.A.R.Y.L, I think is a great filmic example of asking this question. Especially when juxtaposed against all the Hollywood-brained idiot movies, where it's all just about coming home, and it's always just about holistic reconciliation, and they always want to disavow lack or negation or whatever. It's everything is affirmative and positive.
So do you think if to try and tie these two things in together, do you think that like if a union was more about like I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. Like what if like there was what if the platform of a union was like was like humanistic in a way, was like on that shit?
No, I mean, it has to be anti-work on some like in the sense of like
same
the
thing.
point of
Same
the point of the union is to free you from work as much as is humanly and technologically possible in a given moment.
So you can be a human.
Yes, and thus and also have as much of a robust standard of living at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is to say, I'm sorry, if we're operating in anything, and somebody can say, I could hear someone like Catrone say, yeah, but you're still presupposing you're operating within some kind of capitalist society. The point is to get outside of it. Okay, fine. But if you're asking me what could drastically improve my life within this society, more money, more time, energy. That's it.
Well, but here's the deal. To say, okay, fine, then we'll assume a post-capitalist world. Give me a world where I can pursue my passion instead of
what I mean.
Having to follow the superegoic injunction. Stop repressing the passion in favor of desire or in favor of demand. Let me pursue my passion.
My passion says fuck your work ethic.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that,
dude.
My passion ethic. Like
and
that's what it boils down to.
And I'm not interested in communism until a Marxist tells me what it is. Because like I know that there's this sort of Marxist prohibition on talking about like what the future society is going to be like, but I'm like, yeah, I think that was a fucking mistake. I think that was a fucking mistake that Marx made, because if you leave it completely open and you don't say anything about what the future society post-capitalist is going to look like, then it's just fantasy projection. It just leaves this gap in which onto which everyone projects their fantasy, right? And so then it just becomes about wholeness, about becoming complete,
Yep.
about
Yeah.
not being human anymore. No, we need like I'm not interested in being a communist until a communist tells me what fucking communism is. If
So
we can
this,
describe what it is, really, in a realistic way, and be like, oh, I can kind of see how we could come out of this society into that new society, then I'll be like, okay, I can see what that thing you're calling communism is. But if you're just going to be like, it's the self-aware,
Yeah.
like the self-transcended overcoming of history, I'm like,
Yeah.
then stop using communism. Just be a Hegelian. Just
Right.
say that. You know what I mean?
but here's the thing, right? So if you ask Todd and Slavoj, they'll say, look, the owl of Minerva
Yeah.
flies at dusk, right? The point
Yeah.
is, philosophy can only understand and speculate and blah 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 on things after they've happened. So you have to remain open to this kind of blank future. And so this is one of the ways that Zizek would probably critique Land, which
Yeah.
is to say, you try to traffic with the future too much. Well, the future is unknowable. You can't traffic with some determinate future. It doesn't work like that. And it's all fantasy if you try to traffic with a determinate specific future. Okay, but here's the thing. Hold on. Here's what I would say on your behalf. I think you'll agree with this is okay. How far do we take this? Because this is me. I'm almost maybe a little bit more Landian, or at least I am in this moment. What if there's some pushback to this idea of, oh, the future is just a blank slate? Okay, so what about guys who are going to a piece of land to build a house? Okay, they have a blueprint.
Yeah.
They've figured out what raw materials they need to get this
Yeah.
fucking thing built. They have an organized way to build it. And so, and somebody could say, well, here's the difference. That's a weak analogy. Well, why is it a weak analogy? Well, it's a weak analogy because no one's actually ever built a successful communist society. People have figured out how to build successful, enduring houses. Okay, so
Mhm.
it's not fair to compare one to the other. And they could say, well, and just so you know, the first house, the first dwelling that was ever built probably happened on some level by accident
Yep.
or
Mhm.
like they didn't have a blueprint.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is where I get into like it's a
Okay.
problem. So
Yeah.
it, demanding we have a blueprint for something that's never existed, that can be a problem.
Yeah.
But acting like this thing that's indeterminate is going to come into being without a blueprint, isn't that a problem? I feel
Yeah.
like there's a kind of antinomy of something
It
like that at work
isn't
here.
it
Well,
also a
it's
problem to be so
but you know,
certain of this that this thing is coming when we have like I that's the thing for me that does it. Like I don't think Marx is wrong about very many things. But the political project of Marxism has always rubbed me wrong. And this idea of like historical materialism has always rubbed me wrong because people make it a teleological thing and people talk about it as if it's necessary that we will do X and then Y will happen and then Z will
And
happen
land
and then
makes
A,
Robo
B,
Cthulhu
C.
somewhat
Right.
necessary.
Right. Well, and I
yeah.
think like barring, I don't know, barring the outside, Robo Cthulhu is actually possible, whereas communism, fully automated luxury communism, seems impossible. Whereas Robo Cthulhu seems not only possible, but seems evident to me. Like if you look and if
And
you're actually
quasi
paying attention,
inevitable.
right? And that's for me what bothers
But
me,
not to everybody.
right?
Because I mean, look, Chris doesn't think it's an issue at all. A lot of
Right.
Marxists don't think super intelligence is even anything
Right.
to worry about. So I mean, what we think is necessary, what we think is contingent. I mean, I can say that Slavoj and Todd, the way they read Hegel, they would say that what they like about him is when it comes to the future, he's believes in radical contingency, not dialectical necessity. That the necessity at the heart of the dialectical movement is always retroactively generated.
Yep.
All of it's contingent, but after it happens, it takes on a retroactive sense of necessity. Like it had to be this way. It didn't
Yep.
have to be this way,
But
but
now it
the
does.
necessity comes afterwards.
Yeah.
But for Marx, at least a certain Marx and a certain land, both of them act like there's these necessary teleological trajectories we're on.
Right.
And for me, I sit there and I go, okay, well, if it's all contingent and you can't know it, I mean, don't you still have to have a goal or a plan you're shooting for? And so this is where I think Slavoj would bring in the concrete universality, where it's like, okay, the universal
Right.
you're trying to achieve is always going to be concrete. It's always empirical. The universal is the empirical attempts to instantiate it that fail.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, fine, but none of us are even sure on what we're trying. For me, it would be a post-work society where there's a robust standard of living, which enables everyone to have their time, energy, and economic needs, and not even needs. There has to be some surplus enjoyment. There
Yeah.
has to be excess. So excess money, not obscene excess money, but enough to, you know, do something with. And somebody could say, well, we need to get to a post money. So, okay, fine. A society that has established the necessary material conditions to enable people to universally engage in their passion, pursue what they find to be a meaningful life of repetitious activity that gives them meaning while also allowing them to undermine themselves in certain ways given that identity they've taken on. And I'm
There's your
sorry, so
blueprint.
like basically it's my relationship to philosophy. Philosophy is this thing that I just consistently, it's this immortal drive.
Yeah.
I just don't want to stop doing it. I want to wake up every morning and do this thing that I've wanted to do every morning get out of bed for the last 20 years. All right.
Yeah.
So whatever my life is with all the problems it's going to have problems. I need to be able to do philosophy for the vast majority of my day. And I can't do that right now.
Yeah.
And so any society, I don't care what the society is called, if that society can't make that a concrete, enduring, dare I say, promised possibility for my day-to-day life, then I'm not interested in that society.
Yeah. And that's your blueprint. Like, to return to the construction metaphor, like that's
Right?
that's all I fucking want, you know? Like, it, and a blueprint's just that. Like, no building is ever like, even if you have a detailed blueprint, like no building is ever how you imagined it.
Yeah.
If you were the one that drew the fucking blueprint, you know
Well,
what I mean? It's
the
still
question,
it's still like, wow, this is what I drew. You still have that reaction when you finish something that you've been looking at the
yeah.
plans on, and you look at it like, this is what I drew. I didn't even realize, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I've realized the vision. It's like you're shocked by what you actually did,
Yeah.
you know?
It's almost like city planning, logistics scaled upwards. And like the blueprint that we all know is missing. Like, because I'm sorry, even Marx himself, there's no blueprint. Let's see the logistical layout of how a communist society. Show us, how do the sewer systems get built
Yeah.
and operated? How do the electrical systems work? Who does that or who doesn't do that? Do machines do that? If the machines do it, what machines build the machines?
Yep.
Right? Like, this is what you're talking about, Sean, where it's like, okay, show me the automated infrastructure, what it would look like, what would it entail, what roles would humans have to still have in the governing of this automated infrastructure, and how do we prevent the automated infrastructure from kicking into Robo Cthulhu mode
Yeah.
and hitting a level of super
And-
intelligence explosion that we can't control?
Yeah.
And I don't even need that much detail. All I'm just saying is, like, we should be clear about what we need to, about what the fucking goal is. Like, what is the goal? Is it to free up time? That's all I need. Is like, just, is that what it's for? Then okay, if that's what it's for, to like give us time, then why are we using a signifier, communism,
Yeah.
that terrifies American workers?
Yeah.
I know.
If that's what it is, like, why? Like,
Because that's
give me
what
a
the,
reason.
that's what the fucking ivory tower douchebags want, dude. And we're too fucking stupid to have an opinion. And we're too toxic. And we're just fucking shitty
We only do the
reactionary
work.
dude
What
bros.
would we know about it?
Yeah, fuck us. We need to shut up and get back to work. Like, that's the thing that pisses me off the most, man. That motherfuckers walk around doing all that shit and then call themselves communists. It's like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Like, you wouldn't,
how's your
No, and
going
that's
to
where
the
the
people going?
stubborn.
you wouldn't last a day in my commune, bitch. You're not about that
No,
life.
and is that not where this stubborn libidinal thing that Zizek talks about? It's like, oh, we're like that. Okay,
Yeah.
then if I gotta
then
hurt
I'll show
me,
you, bitch.
to fuck you over, watch
Yep.
how much I'll hurt myself. That's
Yep.
what they
Yeah.
underestimate. Like,
Yep.
I would rather
Yeah.
suffer if it means you get it twice as bad.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep. Yeah.
and they don't.
And the working
know how to
class does
speak to
that shit, dude. The working
do.
class does
Straight
that
up,
shit.
dude. Well,
Yeah.
when you have people who are so fucking precarious anyway, and all they have is this symbolic identity, and you want to rip
their
that
sense
away
of
from them
pride.
and tell them they're wrong and tell them they're bad, evil, reactionary, toxic
fuck
people
it.
for clinging to their symbolic identity when they have nothing fucking else because they didn't grow up in the lap of fucking luxury and their parents couldn't pay tuition for them to go to fucking kindergarten. Fuck you, dude. You don't understand it. Suck my fucking dick. Like, and that's why, like, I think they have no compassion for real workers, and they don't even understand what the fucking word proletariat means when they use it.
And to be clear, I just want to be clear, we're not talking about Catrone
No,
when we're saying.
No, Chris is
no.
a homie,
We're-
dude.
Yeah.
Catrone's
love
a homie,
Chris.
for
Exactly.
sure.
I just want to make that clear. This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
not we're not
Oh,
coming
no,
for
no, no, no.
platypus. That's not the
No,
point.
that's
here.
not who we're talking about.
At all.
Yeah.
But I will say this:
You like
the
classical
bad
music?
news for that type, the bad news for that type of motherfucker, whether they're a Marxist scholar expert or whether they're a Lacan scholar expert, here's the bad news for them: Robo Cthulhu's coming for your job,
Yeah.
and he'll do what you do better
Yep.
and faster than he'll do what we
Yep.
do.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
you,
Yep.
if you are nothing but a Lacan bot that just spews out fucking citations and quotes from various seminars, oh, Robo Cthulhu's coming for you first, because Robo Cthulhu can spit that shit out way better than you ever will. Real thought, opening up new pathways of thought, making new connections, that's human shit. And the AI chatbots aren't doing that yet. Maybe one day they will, but they're not doing it yet. What they will do is source citations and quotes that'll fucking, they'll do that where you're fucking under the table.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, what's happening? So your job is on the line before, and especially not even us as underground theorists. We do all the essential labor that they don't have the robotics to do yet.
Yep.
They can make Lacan chatbots.
Yep.
Yeah.
All they have to do is put those fucking seminars into a fucking chatbot, and trust me, it'll do that scholarly citation shit, book, chapter, verse better than any little prince of a human being ever will. And so AI is coming for you first. And so, we'll be over here making pallets and doing deliveries.
Yep.
While you're in the unemployment line. So maybe then you'll
have some compassion and develop some
But
solidarity.
No,
the fallen professional never does that, though.
I know.
They never do that, dude.
I know.
Like, you're right. That should be the lesson, but the lesson is really like doubling down, on all that fucking pretentious bullshit. That's what the fallen professional does. They're like, generally speaking, they're like, oh, I'm because they're humiliated by the fact that they have to be a proletarian too, and that humiliation is just unbearable, But
I think,
and then they go online and cause problems.
Yeah, I think this part. I mean, yeah, of course, it's a bit libidinal. There's a bit of enjoyment wrapped up in it, but it's also true. Like, I think expressing these frustrations is us trying to like clearly articulate why we are seeking something else. I think what we're seeking, we're asking the question of like, well, what does it even mean to be a human anymore? What does it even mean to have a passion? anymore? Is it even possible that we could someday devise a world that allows us to have our time to ourselves and our energy to ourselves, and be free to pursue passions and be free to undermine ourselves and construct our own identities that differ from our fucking prescribed symbolic identity and this and that? It doesn't seem to be the case that a lot of the politically active people are concerned with those questions. And that's a little bit concerning to me anyway, because it, like, the entire world is so efficient at taking a person and forcing them to calcify into a finished product, into an object. You are a radical Marxist. You're an anarchist. You're Antifa. You're a groiper. You're a conservative. You're MAGA. You're apolitical. You're an idiot. You're a brilliant virtuoso. Like, whatever it is, wherever we find ourselves, the world is very fucking good at getting at calcifying us into finished products, into commodity objects. And sorry, dude, I can't fuck with those people. I can't. Like, I really do want to know what it means to be a human. I really do want my kids to be able to grow up and have success, but also fail and also get hurt and have their heart broken. And, you know, I want to live a human life. I don't want to live this robotic, machinic life. And it's really weird that that's what seemingly, like, the leftist political machinery has turned into this objectifying machinery. And when I say leftist political machinery, of course, I mean the right or the reactionary political machinery as well. Like the political apparatus and the ideological apparatus in the world today just creates little objects. It doesn't actually create people who are thinking about things that we need to be thinking about. Because I am still convinced that we're doomed. And we don't have a whole lot of time left to figure this shit out.
That's
Sean,
why oh, go ahead, Mikey.
No, I'll just say, Sean, that so, like, what I would want to strive towards, and I think this in, contradiction to Land's whole thing about the techno-capital singularity. It's the time energetic singularity.
Yeah.
Human beings from day one have been struggling against necessary labor, not just wage labor, but necessary labor. And it cuts across all the different modes of production. Humans have always been in this battle. And I mean, hell, in the Bible, it's what God cursed us with for sin, was having to,
toil
by the sweat of your brow, work.
Yeah.
It was the punishment for sin.
Yeah.
And so this battle against work goes back to the beginning of humanity. And so my thing is, and people can go, well, that's kind of an arbitrary value, or that's fine. I'm just telling you my principle that, or the thing that I would like. I want to see what humanity does in the universal emancipation of time energy. And that it's a singularity insofar as it would cross a threshold that, we really couldn't even predict what we would do as a species if all of us didn't have to spend the vast majority of our lives engaging in necessary labor, be it slave labor, feudal labor, wage labor. It doesn't matter the form. Freedom from work and freedom to have a passion. What does that world look like? That's what I wish I could see.
And that's the part we can leave radically open. Like, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Like, we can, like, Owl of Minerva quote, etc. You know, like, we can leave that radically open. We won't know. I'm fine with that. Just, like, let's be clear about what the goal is, what the new world looks like.
All you're saying is logistics matter.
Yeah.
Logistics matter in this situation.
Yeah.
How do we live without cops if we can't even live without dishwashers, right? Or like we there are certain things we have to deal with. There's a meme online where people call it, what is it, sewer socialism? But like, you do have you do have to worry about the sewers, dude. You do have to worry about necessity. One way or the other.
And I don't know. That's it's maybe a larger conversation, but like I don't know, prior to like agricultural labor, like we didn't have to worry about labor as much, you know. So it's like
we were nomadic.
How do we Yeah, when people were like nomadic, like labor wasn't as much of a fucking burden, you know. So we didn't
Yeah, but they still
evolve.
couldn't have a passion because they still had, even though, okay, maybe their labor wasn't coerced and maybe they could
I think
hunt
you
a little
kind of
bit through the
could.
day. Do you?
You kind of could. It's not in the same sense that like we can today, but like there's kind of a set like I think that you became passionate as like a great hunter. Like I think there
Sure.
was a element of passion,
Or
like whatever
an
skill that you helped
yeah,
contribute to
an
the tribe. I
artist.
think like there's a
Uh,
reason why we have this passion, you
yeah.
know, like there's a reason why we have that, like that, because it was adaptive at one point in time. Like that's what motivates us to like be good at certain things,
Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
that we can
Yeah.
pick, we can kind of choose to a certain extent,
I
you
just
know.
don't know how
And it's
much
not,
they could choose it back then. Or if they wanted to say, okay, I think about the person who was like trained to be a hunter. Did they have the individualistic freedom to be like, I hate this fucking hunting shit. I don't want to do this with my life. I don't know in the tribal setting if
I
that
yeah,
don't
you
type
become
of
see.
a
I don't.
you become a medicine man, and you're like the
Yeah.
philosopher of the tribe. You're like that role
maybe.
still kind of
I don't
exists,
think
you
they
know.
had like strict social orders in that sense. Like it was just like
Yeah.
we're a bunch of people. We need to eat. People who can hunt, let's go hunt.
Yeah.
People who can paint
But
cave paintings, let's go paint cave. Like I do think it was far more anarchistic in a way,
yeah,
in a good
it,
way.
it does depend on the particular moment in the particular area that they're talking about. Because if the landscape doesn't sustain
Yeah,
freedom, then they won't have it.
sure.
It's only if the landscape that they're in, like, it
And that
is flourishing enough and has enough that they can have free time. In
and
those
this
cases, they did have tons of free time.
this is
But
where
like,
D&G are right
Yeah.
yeah,
in Anti-Oedipus about how, the tribal machine, I think
Yep.
they call it the savage machine, but how their socius, their focal point of their society is the earth for them. It
Yeah.
is their
yeah,
specific terrain
yeah.
that organizes the culture and the world of the specific tribe. And okay, so in the next one, it's the despot, like
Yep.
the imperial overlord from far off is constantly the organizing principle of what you got to do. Now you still get relative autonomy, you still get your local culture, but now you have to meet the demands of the overlord. It's with capitalism that when capital becomes the focal point of the society, that everything it's the one that eats up territories and radically deterritorializes, etc. So I think that is a point that D&G make that
Yeah.
I typically agree with.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so it's not this noble savage picture I'm trying to paint. It's just like yeah, there's a reason why we have passion. There's a reason why we gravitate towards things we love to do. Like it was adaptive at one point, you know. And
It's
in
interesting.
an
Yeah.
agricultural and then an industrial society it becomes increasingly less adaptive
Becomes
to have
oppressive.
passion. Because to have a passion because like then it's distracting you from fucking work,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
which you must repress and go back to work, you know. So
Damn. Now I want to launch into a conversation about that, and I want to bring in transgression and death drive. But we'll
yeah.
have to wait on that because I think that could turn
Take that
into
up another time.
a much longer
Yeah.
conversation. But it is relevant. The question at hand is what does it even mean to be a human, much less like a political subject, a citizen, a responsible, a good little worker, whatever all these questions. Like, no, what am I? What does it mean to be a human? Am I just a machine? Here in modernity, we're surrounded by machines. Many of them are very convincing in their simulation of the same type of activity that we do. We see them going around doing the types of things that we do, and we're insecure and we're questioning what makes me different from that golem, from that construct, from that apparatus, from that assemblage. We tell stories about it. We craft mythologies and religions around the notion of humanity, humanness, subjectivity itself. And here, at the end of the world, Hollywood does a horrible fucking job at answering that question. But every once in a while, you find a fucking hidden gem like D.A.R.Y.L. You have a good conversation.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think in the comment section, if anybody's there, if you have like a favorite movie about AI and subjectivity, I would be interested. I love these
Me
movies.
too.
Yeah.
Everybody go watch
It-
Robot Jocks.
It is impressive how many movies Hollywood made asking this question, though. You know,
Mhm.
Well,
is
that's like it
and
is the new religion.
it still is asking those questions. I
The
think
creator,
Alien
they
Earth,
just made the creator a couple years
Yep.
ago.
yeah,
Yep.
and I think Alien Earth is asking the same kind of questions. I
Ex
think
Machina.
we could have totally brought that in to
Yeah,
go
dude.
along with
We could
Daryl
have,
and-
yeah.
I got to catch up on
I just
that.
I didn't only watch it up to episode 2, so
Dude, it's fucking good.
I think
I
it-
was
I
like,
think it
Nance
gets
convinced
good,
me to
dude.
watch it.
Yeah.
Nance, I've seen the whole season. Nance
Oh, you
convinced me
watched
to
the
watch
whole
it. I
thing?
didn't want to. Yeah, I've watched the whole season.
Oh
like,
shit.
now
Yeah,
I've seen a
dude.
lot of Alien fans who hate the fucking finale.
Dude, I love Alien. I fucking love the whole fucking. I adore those movies, and I think this one it asks the right questions. It's just fucking like conceptual enough while still being campy and fucking fun. And it's like, to me, it's just I was so skeptical because I'm like, this is cinematic. This is cinema. I don't want to watch cinema in my house. That's dumb. But like, no, dude. Like, Nance convinced me to watch it, and I was like, no, I think it's good. I think it's really fucking.
So you
good.
even like the last episode of the season?
Yeah, I did. I'm slightly worried about where it could go, but I still liked it a lot. I still
Okay.
liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to catch up on that. I watched the
By the way,
Yeah, I do
third
too.
your
episode.
guy you mentioned, science fiction with Damian Walter, that guy
Yeah, yeah.
I've never heard of. He has a video called "The Haters Just Don't Understand Alien Earth," which I obviously haven't watched, but it seems like I might agree with that based on the title. So
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
to check that out.
Yeah.
Okay, watch all these movies, but
Watch them all.
if we do the Todd and Ryan thing, the lesson is watch Daryl.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
absolutely. Watch fucking Daryl.
Totally.
Yeah.
The lesson is listen to fucking what's it called? Why Theory. That's the lesson.
Oh, that yeah.
Yeah.
2 lessons. 2 lessons.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
All right. And with that, we'll leave you, audience. We'll catch you on the next one. Same bat time, same bat channel. What will our heroes get up to next? Peace out, guys.
Later.